morning, guys. Happy Sunday. So I have my coffee. We're sitting down to chat and we're talking about food sensitivities again today. I thought that it was a little bit later, but I guess my timing was off because I looked at my test this morning, but it's been almost a year since I did my EverlyWell food sensitivity test, which is actually my most viewed video on this channel. So if you've come from that over here, hello, hi, welcome. I'm getting ready to team up with them to do another video. I believe is going to happen soon, or at least I'm going to try out another one of those tests. So make sure you're following me on Instagram for that, because I'm going to kind of walk through it in stories, and then I'll bring it all back to YouTube to kind of talk through the next steps after that test. But that should be happening soon. I'll keep you posted. Look out on my stories for that one. So I kind of thought I would do a year update since it's almost been a year. Granted, like, we're 1 month off from it, but I'm at that place where I think that we can do the year mark for it. So I thought I would kind of talk through life after food sensitivities, what that looked like, how that's affected me, how I've kind of eaten things. So food sensitivities are different than food intolerances. Let's start there. So if you're lactose intolerant, if you have celiacs and you are gluten intolerant, it's a different scenario, and food sensitivity tests test differently for things, and they test reactions for stuff, and it's just not, the test for food sensitivity is different than the test for an intolerance or an allergy. So I will link the kind of full walkthrough of that down below because I was rereading it this morning. If you think that you're intolerant to something, I don't know that I would go the route of the food sensitivity test. I would definitely speak with your doctor about it, because they can do more extensive panels and kind of really break it down. But I took the test about a year ago. I've been, I want to say, like, I've played with elimination diets over the years. I've included things, I've excluded things. I have a good idea of what was going on with my body, but there are times where I will just straight up react to things and I don't know why. And when I decided to take the test last year, that was one of the reasons I did it, was because I had reacted very poorly to something that I'd eaten, and I wanted to know why. So I tested in the mild section for quite a few. The moderate and high, there were no highs. I think that maybe if I'd taken this several years ago, I might have gotten a high to like milk products, but those have been out of my diet for at least 4 years now. So that's something that I don't really indulge in, mostly because they just don't agree with me. But I had no high ones. I had a couple of moderate ones, and those were gluten, malt, wheat, cinnamon, and wheat. So for me, gluten, malt, and wheat kind of all bundle into that like same category. So they kind of cross over in a lot of ways that they're together, and that just kind of eliminated that section for me. And then cinnamon was the one-off. I didn't really understand the cinnamon one, but you know, for the sake of really giving my body a chance to kind of move forward and test it, I decided that I would do an elimination diet for all of those things. So for the most part, I have eliminated them for the past year. Now, I don't want to develop something to the point where I'm like extremely sensitive to them. Like, I know I can react to them and they can do things in my body, but I don't want it to become, they're so removed from my diet that like it causes me serious pain. So every now and again, I will eat them now. It's not that often, and if I'm craving them, I'll have it. Or if I just feel like, hey, it's been a couple of months, maybe I'll have a bite of this or a little bit of that. I want to keep it so that I don't like have a severe allergic reaction to it. That's personal. I just don't want it to be so removed from my diet that I become extra sensitive to it. But overall, I can't say that I've noticed any crazy changes. When I started on a food sensitivity like elimination journey last year, I was really looking at healing my teeth, which didn't necessarily work out the way that I wanted it to, but I was also really looking at healing my hormones, and I'm still working on healing my hormones. I came off birth control, and it was, you know, 3 months later, and there have been little ebbs and flows, and I'm making more tweaks with that now. But I think that it's just one of those things that it wasn't this profound impact for me. I will say that like little acne that I was getting around my mouth, that, which is normally a sign of you eating something you have a food sensitivity to, that's really cleared up. I felt like I had a dot. I have one right there right now. So I need to kind of look at what I've eaten in the past 24 hours that might have been a trigger for that, and just be mindful of that. But there were no life-changing alterations for me. I didn't lose 40 pounds. I didn't, you know, suddenly have like crazy things happen simply because I changed them. And maybe that's mostly because for me, they weren't high, they were moderate. So you can, from things that I've read in the past, there are ways to kind of adapt your body to your food sensitivities and kind of make those changes. Eating too much of anything can kind of build up and create an intolerance in your body. So I really try to kind of switch everything around that I'm eating and not have the same thing constantly, just for that fact. But overall, there were like no profound changes. I will say a couple of months ago, it's the first time that I've fully reacted to something in a really long time. I'll say, I would like to say, I guess in the best way, that I got dosed with something. That's the best way to call it. Meaning, I tried to be as meticulous as possible. I may have been more lax. There's either something in the dish that I ate, something I didn't ask about, something I wasn't aware of, but it caused me severe pain. It's been a while since that happened, and for me, that's normally a cause of something dairy related that I did not know about. So, personally, I know that's how my body reacts to things that it doesn't like, but for food sensitivity purposes, I don't think it was anything like gluten, cinnamon related, simply because I'll eat those every few months and nothing seems to be like a crazy trigger in that one. So, I guess I kind of wanted to touch on though, would I do it again and what does my diet look like now? The do it again part. When I took the test originally, I felt like, looking back at that video, I was definitely very inconclusive about it. And it's still kind of the same way that I feel. I think that obviously financially, that's a question for you. It's a little less than $200. You can find a discount code for that. I have one that's always in the description box of my videos for 12% off your first test. So if you want to take it, that link is down below. But I think it kind of depends on where you're at in your journey. If you just would like a starting place, I feel like sometimes you get a lot of information from a lot of different places and it's hard to really know where to start. Then this is a great place. It gives you kind of a guide and you can toy with things from there. They test for 99 different things. But I also haven't really compared this test to another one, and I feel like I would kind of like to do that in the future. I know that Pinner's test is also a popular food sensitivity test. I'm not sure what some of the other ones are, but I think that it's one of those things, it can be a bit challenging to test for, and I don't know that I've met really anybody in conversations I've had with it about it that have been like, it changed my life. So it's kind of up to you. I think that it's a good starting point and it's great for giving you kind of a guiding light, but I don't know, like I would have never learned about cinnamon, which I think is fascinating, but I don't know that it was super life altering for me. So am I glad I took it? Yes, I like to take these things. It's great for me. I enjoy the information. I enjoy learning the different things. I'm glad that I could kind of talk about it and review it. Do I think you need to take it? I think that's going to kind of depend on you and where you're at in your health journey. I think that you could, if you wanted to systematically eliminate all of these things or pick 2 or 3 at a time, you could do it. It would take more time. If you are just so frustrated with things and really want a place to start, then I think it's a great thing to do. But there are also a few others on the market, and I haven't had any experience with those, so I would say do your research. You know, see what your options are with your doctor. Maybe your insurance covers it. And the last question is, what does my diet look like now? My diet is constantly changing, mostly because I'm constantly tweaking things and kind of trying to see how my body reacts to stuff. And sometimes I just feel like I take in too much information. Sorry guys, hair on my face. And so it's information overload. So these days I don't eat gluten, I don't eat malt, I don't eat meat, and I haven't really had cinnamon. I've had them occasionally, and I will notice, especially with gluten, that I tend to have more breakouts on my face. There's like this one spot over here that just loves to pop up as soon as I eat anything with gluten. So I definitely know I'm sensitive to it. I'm mindful of that. and I can overindulge in it if I'm not careful, which is why I try to stay away from it for the most part, but I'll have it occasionally. It's not one of those foods where it's like I know I can't have it. It's a, you know, it would probably be in my best interest to not have it. There are also other things that I don't really include lots of in my diet, but if I'm super craving it every now and again, I might have it. Things like soy. So for the most part, I don't eat any dairy products. I don't really have any gluten. I rarely have soy, and I don't have cinnamon. And I think of all of them, cinnamon is the one that I miss the most. So far, there's been nothing profound that's changed my life in doing the elimination diet for it, mostly because, you know, I knew a lot of things about it before, and I'm not intolerant to it, so I don't think that it's been a different, like, change for me. But it might be one of those things that if you have a food sensitivity and you don't know about it, it could be super helpful in healing your gut biome and kind of giving your body the chance to really heal in that way. So I would look into it more. If you feel like you have a food sensitivity, definitely, you know, do some digging, talk to your health professionals, kind of look at what the next steps are for you. It might be that you need to do an elimination diet, but it's kind of one of those things that everybody has to judge on their own. So yeah, it's been almost a year and I'm still pretty consistent with it. I don't feel like I've hit my goals in the small ways that like I really started with it, but that's probably for other reasons. So I'm glad that I did it, but I don't know if you should do it. Is kind of where I'm at with that. So I would, if you do take the test, let me know. I would love to know what you guys think about it, how you felt about it, like if you've gone on a journey with it, what you've learned from cutting yours out. I think maybe if you have more high foods, it would be different, but that's kind of a different story for everybody. So yeah. Sorry for being a bit rambly, guys. I think I needed a little more coffee this morning, but yeah, I hope you guys are all having a good week. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up because it shows my channel lots of love and support. Make sure you subscribe because I upload new videos every Wednesday and Sunday at 11 a.m. Central Time. So I am off to do some editing, some reading, some avoiding all of the rain, and enjoying this lovely Friday when I'm filming. But yeah, I love you guys. You matter to me. I'm so glad you're here, and I will see you all in Wednesday's weekly vlog. Bye, guys.